I wouldn't have met the kid until like it got serious. I don't want to meet no kids. What am I meeting the kid for? Let's filter this. Let's at least put a filter. I'm the filter. That's all.
Now you're extra.
I'm not extra.
Let's be clear. You're extra.
Time out.
You are the person that walks up like, no, sir, we're not doing this today. Let's go.
I appreciate you, but you can now move on.
That's so rude.
No. Oh yeah, this doesn't go well. I don't have to then detach her from the kids or the kids from her. Nothing like that.
No, I think it has to do with their mother. I think it has everything to do with their mother.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of She Say, He Say. We on episode 5, y'all. Episode 5. We rolling along, man. And today, we talking about them badass kids, man. I'm here with my sister, once again, Brandy Banks.
Hi, guys.
And we talking about the kids, man. You know, you in a relationship, you know, you got kids, or he got kids, or she got kids. It don't matter. Somebody got daggone kids, and y'all together, so y'all got to introduce the kids. So we're going to start off, we're going to do it a little different this time. And normally we end with questions. This time we're going to start with questions. So we got a question here, and it say, Brandy, you talk about dating and relationships and how soon did he meet the kids or whatever. And so we want to know, how does that look moving forward? What advice would you give somebody else that's in that same situation? So that's how we're going to start it off today. So when is it too soon to meet the kids?
So for me, and when my kids were little and I started dating my husband, we dated for a little bit, but it was an accident. They kind of got pushed together.
Okay, so how old are your kids?
So at this point, my kids now are 22 and 16. At that point, they were 1 and 6 for my marriage. And so they ended up meeting very soon. Actually, I knew him previously for years, his family and things like that, so I didn't really find it a threat to meet them that early, although he did find it a little concerning that they did meet as soon as they did. It just so happened that they were something got canceled out.
So how soon was it?
It was probably like 3 days into us actually meeting. But it happened on accident. It wasn't like, this is my boyfriend, here the kids. It wasn't that. It was just, they ended up running into each other.
Wait, y'all was in an actual relationship 3 days into the relationship?
We were dating. We were just hanging out. It was like, that was us getting to know each other. And the babysitter brought the kids back. We weren't supposed to have been home, but it stormed. So the kids ended up coming back home. We were at my place. They ended up running into each other.
Okay.
This particular relationship, having older kids, having younger kids, I think is really up to you. I think, with me, I was always afraid of, with society now and the way things are, the fact that there are people that are out here that are predators and looking to harm kids and things like that. So you really don't know. So I think vetting your guy out or this woman out prior to meeting the kids, I would say give it months when it comes down to.
All right, so I'm single, no kids. So what does that look like when you say vetting? Because
I need to see how you are around your family. I need to see how you are around other people. I need to
But
be
you gotta
around
ask questions, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. But you vet them. I ask the questions, but any predator can give you the right answer.
But that's what I'm saying. So how do you go about that without turning me away? Like without turning me off? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm into you or whatever, but now you asking these. Well, I guess that was a stupid question, because if I get offensive because you asking these questions, then I'm probably a predator.
Wrong, right? Something's wrong.
Right.
Therefore, the questions need to be had. You need to observe this person. I was very, very leery about who were around my kids, especially, when Dallas was little. I mean, Dallas was 1 year old when I met my ex-husband, or when we started to really get together. And I was blessed to have a man who really cared about my son, or both my sons, and to raise Dallas as his own. So, but it could have been the other way around. It could have been something crazy. But, knowing his family, knowing where he came from and things like that, I kind of had an ease It wasn't as bad as having a stranger, a complete stranger. As far as my kids now, so when they met my guy now, I pretty much put them in front of them as soon as possible. One, because my kids are older, and two, because I wanted them I care about what they think and how they feel, and move, blended families and stuff like that. And if we're talking about moving together, if we're talking about being together, getting married, this, that, and the third, because those are conversations that you need to have.
Like I said, 15 minutes. You need to. No, I'm just go ahead.
So having those conversations, I need to make sure that my kids are okay with it. The same way I need to make sure that his kids are okay with it. Prime example, we're all going on it wasn't a family trip, but it has now turned into a family trip. But we're all going to Vegas in June, right? So, we're going to Vegas. His kids are going. I have not met his children as of yet, right? He's met my kids. His kids are a lot older than mine. So we're talking about young adults. And I'm a little concerned and ask the question of, hey, like, we need to meet. It's hard to get them all together because it's 5 of them. So it's hard to get them all together. All of them have different lives. All of them doing their own thing. All of them are grown, have their own families. So it's hard to bring them all together. But, now it's urgent for me to make sure that, listen, if we're going to be together, you've met my children. It's time for me to meet your kids, especially if we're going on a vacation.
Do you feel some type of way that he's met your kids, y'all been together for I don't know how long, and you haven't met his kids?
I don't. I just, honestly, I think I just don't have the energy to fight that. If he wants me to meet his kids, he'll meet his kids. I think they're old enough now that they don't play a everyday role, whereas though my son plays an everyday role because he lives with me. He's here. My oldest son doesn't so much because he doesn't live here. He's a college student. So
I'm going to ask a question. This was definitely not on the script at all. But do you feel like maybe... Okay, so how do you feel like, all right, you haven't met the kids. I hope I don't put this in your head and you go crazy, but like, all right, I haven't met his kids because he's like protecting himself. So it's not, oh yeah, if this doesn't go well, I don't have to then detach her from the kids or the kids from her. Nothing like that.
No, I think it has to do with their mother. I think it has everything to do with their mother. I think it has, dealing with certain people and sometimes, kids' moms and kids' dads, they don't really know how to detach from the relationship or to really see the other person in a healthy, happy relationship. So sometimes the kids can come back and be defensive because they're protecting their mom. Or their mom has put something in their heads to where it's like, he don't need to be with nobody else, blah, blah, blah. Clearly it's over, but, I get it. To each his own. I really don't know what the issue is. They know about me. I do know that. We just have never physically, face-to-face, been in each other's presence. And that's fine. That's his thing. Men are more protective of their kids than than women are at times when it comes to dating. Really? I've noticed. Absolutely. I've noticed that. Like,
I don't have no kids, so.
Women will put their kids in that space just to see how it looks and how it feels, to see if something's going on, to see if anything's wrong. Especially if you're a single mom, it's hard to not put them in that space because you don't have a babysitter half the time.
I was about to say, like, do you think there's a difference between a woman who's the father isn't in the kids' lives and they put him in that space earlier, or the father is in their life and they still put him in that space earlier? I feel like, me just logically speaking, I feel like women, if you got kids, especially boys or whatever, then all right, I met a guy, I like the guy, I want that father figure or whatever. So yeah,
I never looked for my kids a father figure, and that's because I guess I was blessed with a dad who stepped in to, kind of raise them, and then I had all of y'all. So to have that, it didn't really bother me. I wasn't looking for somebody to be daddy. I wasn't looking for somebody to be a father. It was you know, I was thankful to have, you know, my ex be there for my kids like a father. Mm-hmm. But even that became an issue because my kids always looked at dad as the father.
Right.
You know.
I don't know. Like, I haven't dealt with that. Like, I like recently met somebody with like kids, but like I said in the last episode, I'm in a situation where I'm not looking for nothing like, oh yeah, we're gonna be in a relationship. So I don't need to meet nobody's kids.
No, I mean if you don't feel like this is going to go anywhere,
yeah,
and we just kicking it and hanging out, absolutely not. You should not be seeing your kids should not be seeing you with somebody. But if you're in a relationship and you're spending most of the time, you know, like in this situation, going back and forth to, you know, his state, him coming to my state, it's a lot because I mean, I literally had to drop, you know, Dallas off, who was 16, with y'all to go up there because Dallas, I wasn't ready for Dallas to be a part of that yet. I was still getting to know and getting to be around and seeing what it looks like. Now that we're in a full-fledged relationship and he's met, you know, you all, he's met dad, he's met mom, like, I want him to know my kids. Like, I need to know because honestly, and I know a lot of you all will probably disagree, my kids' opinion matters. And if they don't feel comfortable in here with him or being around him, then I got to rethink this whole thing.
But how soon did that happen? Because for me, like,
that happened within a couple of months. It wasn't weeks. It wasn't years. It's probably like 2 to 3 months to kind of have that. And I respect him because it wasn't like he had come down and he would come like, you know, while Dallas was at school or if he was at a sleepover or something like that, just so we could hang out. But then he would always leave. And I was like, why you just don't, you know, for me, it was like, why you just don't meet him? Like, we keep.
Because I feel like.
But he was like, it's the way that I want to meet him.
Yeah.
I want to meet him. Let's go to dinner. Let's meet at a park. I don't want him to walk in and I'm sitting on his couch, which I respected that. I never thought about that. But from a man, he was like, that's another male. I don't want him to get the wrong, perception of what's happening.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I asked that question because, like, my ex had animals. She had a dog and a cat. And they get, you know what I'm saying? They get attached. And she was like, why you don't pet the dog? I'm like, bro, because I don't know if we're going to make it. Like, I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't want to create no attachments. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like that with animals. I don't want to meet nothing that's like serious for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how long we going, you know what I'm saying, be together.
Well, thank God she didn't have a kid. What, you not going to pet the kid?
I wouldn't have met the kid until like it got serious. I don't want to meet no kids. What am I meeting the kid for? I'm in and out. You know what I'm saying?
All right, this is true. But I also think you have to know, like, in the beginning, if I have children, that's a step. It's going to happen. It's inevitable if we get to that place.
Oh, all right. So that's what I'm saying. That's where, from the last episode, you got to be honest about your situation.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking for it to get to that level, then yeah, like I'll think about that and let's talk about how we want that to look. But if we just kicking it and we just having a good time.
No, then you don't need to be nowhere around my kids.
Yeah, I don't want to meet your kids. Just like I didn't want to. I would have liked to not meet the dog because honestly, when people see that the dog like you, then they get a little, you know what I'm saying? Oh, the dog like him. It's like, well, nah, bro, I don't need all that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like petting animals. But yeah, you laugh. You think.
Because it's just like so. I mean, I get it. It's an emotional attachment.
Exactly.
That happens. And I can see with a woman, but okay, kids and dogs, that's a whole different.
But yo, it's 2023.
I got it. People
look at animals like kids.
Yeah, they're very attached to their what do they call? Pet children? Children? I don't know. Something like that. But anyway, I just feel like for me, especially with having older kids, I needed to put him out there because one, as everyone knows, men know men. So my oldest son can shed some light and to say like whether mom not feeling him, or whatever. Prime example, we all know my oldest son does not talk at all. He's not a talker. He's not. His emotions are very.
But yeah, he talks. He just don't talk around.
Right,
Yeah.
and he's not aggressive.
No.
At all. So go on a cruise and, I'm out. We got the drink package. If you don't know what the drink package is, look it up. Best thing in the world if y'all go on a cruise. Got the drink package and I am having a ball. And I decide that, we're going to go to the nightclub. We're going to go where the kiddies are. And we're going to have a good time because that's the only place you get the alcohol past 1 o'clock in the morning. So we are in this place. We come out and my son is standing there and this guy walks up. And he's like, your earrings are so cute. Now, I know my earrings are not anything special. Mm-hmm. And my Christian walks up beside me, who is my son, my 22-year-old, and he's guarded. And I see that he's guarded, but I don't know what he's guarded for. The guy comes back up and says, so what you doing tonight? And my son instantly is like, nothing. She's going to bed. She ain't doing nothing with you. I've never seen him like that. But because he is this now a man and he's played the game.
Yeah.
He saw game before I even saw game. So he shut it down.
Gotta shut it down.
So at the end of the day, I want my kids to be involved because I want him to be able to say, Mom, this man ain't right. Something ain't going on. You know what I mean? Because I don't see it. As we talked about last episode, I'm in love with the tuxedo.
Oh, Lord.
I'm in love with the tuxedo guy. So now, Christian's looking at it where it's like, nah, I see him in his sweatpants and his t-shirt.
So that's why I say I show up in the sweatpants. So we ain't gotta go through all that. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to worry about, the tuxedo stage is over or now I don't do that. So it ain't no, you ain't got to, if I met somebody's kids, they're gonna know exactly what it is from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? They don't gotta worry about none of that. But so now my question is, what if you really like that dude on the cruise? You really liked him, and Christian was like, nah.
But I even said, I was like, you don't even know him. You ain't never met him before.
You said it to Christian?
Yeah, I was like, now mind you, I'm a little tipsy, guys. Little tipsy.
Little tipsy.
Little tipsy. So, I'm like, what happened? At the time, I was single. Let's be clear. I was very single at the time. So, I had no clue what was happening, how it was going to go down. I could have met him, and he could have been my future husband. But the way he came at me, Christian shut it down because he wasn't respectful enough to come at me in a respectful manner. Because
he came at you like, oh, I'm out here. She drunk. I see she drunk. I'm going to go ahead, you know what I'm saying?
And try my hand and see what's going to happen for the night.
And Christian was like, nah. And he did the right thing.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, me and Christian went back and forth about it. But I respect it because that's my son. And men know men. So I can't argue with that. Even though I didn't think what he said was truly offensive, my son thought it was very offensive.
Wait a minute. What did he say? What did he say? He said,
what you doing tonight?
Oh, what you doing?
And now, mind you, it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that was not.
So it was, to me, it didn't register as being disrespectful.
Did he know that you was with your kids?
I don't think he thought that was my child. I think he thought we were a group that were there.
And he said it like just across the table type.
No. He walked up on the group. Oh, he was a bold thing. He walked up to the group and he said what he said. So to me, it wasn't offensive. I didn't find it offensive.
But he said it so everybody could hear. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Christian did what he was supposed to do. That's what he was supposed to do. If I was...
Well, yes, because you are a different story. I don't know what it is lately, but you have been very vocal and very aggressive when it comes to me dating. Mind you, I'm the only sister or the only daughter. So therefore, I guess they tried to...
Cause you know what happened is, we let you, I ain't gonna say, I apologize. I didn't let you do anything, but I watched you and I'm like, your decision, I don't agree with your decision making. And at the same time, I am the younger brother. So it's like when you are affected, I'm affected. So I'm like, all right, you've had your shot. You got 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? Now let's find somebody that, you know what I'm saying, that's going to be good to you. Right? So I feel like I stepped in a little bit. I'm like, yo, let's filter this. Let's at least put a filter. I'm the filter. That's all.
Now you're extra.
I'm not extra.
Let's be clear. You're extra.
Time out.
You are the person that walks up like, no, sir, we're not doing this today. Let's go.
I appreciate you, but you can now move on.
Yeah, like, that's so rude.
No, so we're not gonna put no names out there, but the guy from the airport, I feel like you should be glad that I stepped in when I did and was like, yo, you tripping, homie. It's not gonna happen.
Got it. But again, the aggressiveness. Anyway.
I needed him to understand. That's the whole thing. I'm honest. I'm honest with everybody. That's what I feel like. That's where the world is. I'm not saying the world is a bad place, but I feel like that's where people going wrong. Everybody's so sensitive out here because people not being honest. Everybody wants to cater to everybody's feelings. Bruh, tell me how you feel. That's how you feel. I respect the way you feel, and that's cool. We can move forward. Bruh, I don't want you talking to my sister, homie. Like, I know you. I see you, and I see how you move. No, I don't like you talking to my sister. If you want to continue that, we're not going to fight. But bro, I don't approve of it, so you going to have to show me something. You got to show me that, all right, you've changed or something. But no, I don't like you talking to my sister. So then the fact that he just walked away, like he wasn't with it, like he a different cat now. I see him all the time. He a different cat. And that shows me, he wasn't about that. Like, he was just trying to have a good time. So, like you said, men know men.
Right.
And I did my job, and I filtered out, you know what I'm saying, what didn't need to be there. He didn't need to be there. He wasn't going to do nothing but piss me off. That wasn't going to do nothing. I was just going to go to the workplace after that, and he wasn't going to do nothing but piss me off now. That whole time. And it would have been a different situation. Now I can go in there, what's good, shorty? You good? You know what I'm saying? How everybody doing? You know what I'm saying? Everything good?
That's because I don't talk to him anymore. Anyway.
That's because I ended it.
But I feel as though, like, having older kids, no, they did not meet them right away. They didn't meet them. I mean, it took a couple of months for them to meet. But having older kids, I respect their opinion. I respect where they come from because, you know, this household isn't just about me. They live here too. Mm-hmm. And they need to feel comfortable with this guy, with their mother. Whether that's 6 years from now, 2 months from now, married, not married, like they have to feel comfortable with it.
Okay, so I feel like that's going to help us. So what does moving, I feel like a lot of people, what does moving in look like? I mean, you got kids. One stay here. The other one is, he in college, but he's here off and on. And you going to move, he's not a strange man now because.
No, but that's where you communicate. So with me and my kids, and I think everybody can attest to that knows me and my children, I'm very open and honest with my kids. There's nothing that, you know, I sugarcoat for them. There's nothing that now mind you, I have 2 boys, so it's easier for me because I grew up with boys that, you know, I can talk to them as freely and as real as possible. Mm-hmm. So we have those conversations. We have the conversations of, you know, does being with him bother you? What is it? Like when they met him, I wanted to know instantly, like, hey, what do you think? You know, what do you think about him? Is there something that, you know, might have done? And they know to be honest with me. Mm-hmm. We've talked about the fact of us moving together and things like that and talking to the kids. And my kids were, you know, like, all right, we got to see. You know,
but you don't know his kids. You ain't never met them.
And see, but that's the difference. I don't have to. I care about them and I care about their feelings. Don't get me wrong. Like, I want that to work, but it doesn't truly affect me on a daily basis. Mine affects him. If he moved here.
Oh, none of his kids live with him.
No. All of them are grown.
Oh, why?
So there's no such thing as, you know, I have to deal with them on a daily basis. Now, his grandson is very important to him. And I have spent more time with his grandson than I have been around his kids.
So you met his grandson?
Yes. His grandson has come here. I've gone there. We've hung out. My kids know his grandson, like, you know, it's...
How does his kid feel about you spending time with the grandson?
I think they're cool. I mean, I think that the grandson genuinely likes being around us. I think he has fun. But I think it's a matter of, because the grandson is okay and he's safe and feels safe or feels like everything's cool, I don't think the parents have an issue with it.
But, all right, so now I'm just thinking about how I would be as a parent. I'm not a parent, but you met my kid. Why I ain't met you? Why, what the hell is happening? How come that kid's parent, the grandson's parent, hasn't been like, yo, who's around my kid?
I can't answer that for you because that's not on my side. I know I would be asking, but I think at the end of the day, I think they trust the father enough to know and to make wise decisions when it comes to his grandson, knowing how protective he is of his grandson. So, you know, and I think, you know, too, I think some men look at women with kids and it's like, you know, like, wow. And I'm not saying that I'm the best mom or I was perfect or whatever, but they look at women and they're like, you know, she did really good with 2 kids, 2 boys by herself, you know, and I make sure, y'all know that, I make sure that my kids are well-rounded, that they have manners, they're respectful, but then I do stuff with them. It's not a thing of let's just sit in the house and watch TV all day. You know, I travel with my kids. I do things with my kids. I take them out. You know, one kid is 22 and we still go to amusement parks together. I want those memories with my kids. I want to build that. So I think when men come around and they see that and it's like, okay, you know, if they have little kids or whatever, they know that I am always going to put those kids first. I don't care if they're mine or not. But just the way I interact with my children plays a part in what they see and how comfortable they are around me. You know, so I can leave it up to him. I've asked the question. I leave it to him.
You asked the question. What question?
You know, I think it is a very important thing that we all meet. Eventually, somebody got to meet somebody before we go on this family vacation trip. Because I don't want to make it difficult for him. It's not even about me, it's about him. Because now you're going to have to separate your time. If they don't like me...
Yeah, I got to separate.
Exactly. And now you have to spend time with them, then you got to find time to spend time with me, and I get it. But that ain't what my vacation's supposed to look like. That ain't that wasn't the whole purpose of all of us going to Vegas. Right? So... You know, it's just trying to find that compromise. But for him, he didn't really think about it. He was like, you know what? You're right. Because I don't want that to be the first time that we meet. And now they miserable or I'm miserable. And we have to split this man in half. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that'd be bad. But all right. But now but the question was moving in. Like, what does that look like? Like, what happens? Because you got kids.
Again, it's having a conversation with the kids. It's having a conversation with him. It's having, you know, now that we're at this stage, he's here a lot more than he is at home. But that was a conversation that we had to sit down with Dallas, because who's here most of the time, and ask how he felt about it. Like, genuinely felt about it. And I didn't ask Dallas in front of him. I asked him one-on-one with me because I want to know the truth.
Right.
And I don't want him to feel obligated to say certain things. So, you know, be real, say something. You know, and I mean, it's cool. I watch how he tries to, like, Dallas is a gamer. He's not a gamer at all. But I watch how he tries to find things that Dallas likes, like going out and shooting a basketball or going out and throwing a football or something like that. You know, he likes, it ain't something that the first thing that he's going to do. But that's something that he tries to pull in with Dallas to connect with him. So that right there also shows, you know, like, okay, he's trying to make it work on that side. But if my kids my kids have said, like, I don't like him. Not him, the guy I'm with now, but, you know, being older and dating and stuff like that, and then being around other people, not saying that they were around people that was in my house or in my bed or something like that, not that. but just being out and hanging out. Mm-hmm. And they're like, nah, I don't like him. I have to respect that because these children are in my house and they're in my life forever.
Yeah. Other people are come and go. Like they could be there for a minute and then they not.
Yeah, but my kids, that's a lifetime. And I need to make sure that, and I'm not saying that everything that I do is dictated by them, but their opinion matters. I remember this lady at a job told me, she was like, you asked your kids about taking a new position? Or I was quitting a job to go to a new job. And I asked my kids about it because I needed to know what that looked like for them because I was a remote worker for almost 10 years. So I needed to know that they could adjust, that they were willing and that they were able and they could adapt to the adjustment. Mm-hmm. Because I'm no longer home to pick you up from school. I'm no longer home to go down the street and bring you lunch money. So you now have to step it up and do it on your own or figure it out if I'm not there. But I need my kids to know, like, every move that I make has been about them and us being able to sustain a lifestyle that we're used to.
Right.
A lot of people don't think that. A lot of people have the old school mentality. Them kids, they need to stay in the kids' place and you do what you do because you're the parent. But I feel like if you don't get that feedback from your kids,
now I feel like when you dealing with somebody else, like you going like your relationship is moving and you introducing somebody else to your kids, then yeah, I think their opinion matters. But I think a lot, and that's a whole different episode. But a lot of people give that leeway to their kids to have an opinion about things that I don't think kids need to have an opinion about. Because honestly, I feel like kids like our mother said, you don't even know what you want. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. You don't have an opinion. You know what I'm saying? So certain things, no, you don't have an opinion. But yeah, if I'm dating somebody else and I'm bringing somebody else into your life, yeah, I would like to know your opinion.
Yeah, but I mean, I also feel like, and I know, I am very defensive when it comes to kids. Like, I am protective of kids.
Yeah, I feel like everybody should be.
And just like a small prime example, and Mo, sorry, but yes, I'm going to throw you out there. Mo is one of our other brothers, the oldest brother. So we're at the Thanksgiving table. Kid is sitting at my kid is sitting at the table. There are no more chairs. Mo feels like I'm the adult. Kid, get up and move, right? To me, I don't find that fair. One, because when I was a kid, that was rude to me. Like, I'm sitting here eating my food quietly, peacefully, and this adult comes, and because they're an adult, they're just going to tell me to move? Yes. You didn't even say it politely.
No, I agree. You should have got up.
I feel like we need to, and I'm not saying cater to our kids at all, but we need to start hearing our kids. Because kids get in a place where they won't talk anymore. And now you're trying to figure out, well, why are they doing this? Or why are they doing that? Or why are they acting out? Or why is it that? Because they don't know how to express because we didn't allow them to express.
You can express yourself, but that don't mean because you express yourself what you want is going to happen.
I'm not saying that.
That's what's happening.
But if I don't, but I feel like in order for these kids to be respectful, we need to show them some type of respect. Like, I watch my kid every day say thank you. And it's funny because when I was in the dating world and I was dating my ex-husband, he thought that was like super weird. Like, this kid says thank you every time he eats. Every time he eats. I don't care who buys it, where it's at. I could give him a hot dog in the front of the house. After he eats, he's going to tell you thank you. Right?
Right.
Because I say thank you. Because I have done that all my life. If somebody buys me something or does something for me or whatever the case may be, it was a thank you behind it.
But that came from where? That came from your parents.
Exactly.
But that came from your parents because what? If you didn't say thank you, what was going to happen? There's going to be punishment. Something was going to happen. Like, we were brought up like that. He learned that, thankfully, from your actions. See what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying as far as, but we're not going to get into that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a whole other thing. And I feel like parents, and I'm not even a parent, but I feel like, I've been around long enough that I've seen enough kids that I can
Yeah, I mean,
speak on it.
we're in a sensitive world anyway. So, the kids are sensitive. Everything is, heightened 10 times more.
Everything, like everybody crying out here, but
But when it comes down to me dating and, my kids' meetings, I feel like I know when it's right.
I was
When
about
I
to say,
feel like it's right, it's right. There's no time limit on it. It could be, like I said, it could be 3 years from now. It could be a month from now.
so that's what you tell the the young lady right now who's watching, and she says, "I got kids. I'm meeting a guy. When do I make that meet happen?" What do you say? You say when it's right, when you feel like it's right, or are there certain things that need to happen before?
There's certain things that need to happen. If you have a male figure in your life that you respect, that's loyal, that loves you, that could be your father, your grandfather, your uncle, your cousin, your best friend, whatever. Anybody that has been in your life and been a positive male role model in your life that you can actually go to and trust, they need to meet him. If you have a brother, they need to meet him. Somebody needs to meet him.
Who needs to meet? Oh, they need the new guy.
They need to meet the new guy prior to your kids.
Oh, yeah.
And then after you go on a couple of dates and you hang out, and even at dates, like, and movies are not a date. You don't get to know somebody in a movie theater. Just letting you know. So if you're going out, have conversations. So you can't talk in a movie theater.
You gotta go to an old movie, and then you can have a conversation.
Well, have conversation, open conversations. Ask those hard questions. Figure out, what it is about, does he even like kids? Has he been around kids? See him in his family element. Don't let it just be you.
And I'm gonna say, man, like, be open and honest, bro. Like, this is what I'm looking for. Like, I got kids. This is what I'm looking for. And see how he reacts. Like, and pay attention to his actions when he responds. I feel like that's super important. Like, I will say things just off the wall, just random questions, just to see how a girl reacts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been overseas and be like, yo, you like me just because you want a green card? I never felt like that, but I just want to throw it out there because I wanted to see, like, oh, she reacted like, oh, you got me, or she reacted like, bro, you crazy. Like, nah, that's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like when you open and honest about stuff, and you just like, don't cater to, oh, it's new, so I want to be nice and I want them to. Nah.
No, I mean, especially when it comes to your kids, even be around them. Don't leave your kids. I'm telling you now, do not leave your kids by themselves with a man. Be around them. Be present. Be involved. That way you can see and observe how that man reacts to those kids and how your kids react to him. Because at the end of the day, listen to them. Watch them. They'll tell you. Their kids, your kids will tell you if they're uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So, that's the thing. I'm blessed that my kids are older and they can verbally say how they feel. I got a 6'3", 16-year-old, so ain't nobody really like jumping out there too much. But at the end of the day, it's still I still watch. I still observe how his body language or his demeanor, or when, my guy says something to him, how Dallas reacts to that. So, but do what you feel. Do not let that man be the end all be all. Let him meet other people and let people, test them. Let these guys out here give them the hard questions. That shows character. So
that shows character, but she don't allow me to do that. I can't give them the hard questions.
They don't have to be rude. You don't have to be
rude.
rude.
I give them the hard questions. And I don't beat around the bush.
A question. You were like, absolutely not. But anyway, we moved past that.
We moved past that, and I'm trying to get better, but it is what it is. But yeah, all right. So women, man, that's what it is. Like, you got kids. I can't speak on this. Like, that's why she was speaking the whole time. But yeah, man, you got kids. You got to do it when you feel it's right. And I agree. I agree 100%. Like, when I talk to people who have kids, I'm like, yo, it's on you. Like, whatever you want, I'm just here. Like, I'm gonna be respectful no matter what. Like, I'm gonna treat your kids like You know what I'm saying? Now, if they jump off like your kids don't have good behavior skills, then now that's something different. But yeah, man, I thought that was very informative.
That's good. And I hope the young lady who asked the question, I hope we were able to help. You know, but it's a tough situation. You just have to use that motherly instinct and, you know, put all the pieces together. But don't be the only one that knows this man before you reach out to your children.
Because there's crazy people out there. It's crazy people out there, and it's somebody around you that can peep out the crazy in people. So use those people around you. Yeah. Good stuff. That was good. Yeah.
I agree.
That was real good. But yeah, y'all. Hey, subscribe, like, send it to somebody because we appreciate it and it help us out. All right? Y'all be easy. Have somebody meet the guy before they meet the kids. All right? I feel like the moral of the story was that. You agree? I feel like that.
Lesson learned.
Lesson learned. Yeah. All right? Hey, we appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be good out there.
Bye, guys.